Welcome to AI World TV, your go-to destination for everything artificial intelligence. Discover the captivating landscape of AI, where advanced technology finds real-life application. Subscribe to AI World TV for webzine articles, reports, podcasts, videos, live events, and latest trends. Hear from top industry leaders and discover how AI is transforming industries and our daily lives.
Happy Monday. It is February 16th, 2026. And if you're listening to this, you've probably already interacted with a dozen algorithms just getting your day started.
Oh, easily. Before you even have your coffee.
Exactly. But I want you to just pause for a second and look at the date. Because today, the AI World Journal released a report that I think is going to be one of those historical markers. It's called The State of AI in 2026. The Year Intelligence Became Infrastructure.
It's a huge document. I've been going through it all morning, and that title, it really says everything. Infrastructure. That's a heavy word.
It is. We're not talking about future tech anymore, are we?
Yeah.
We're not in that hype cycle of cool demos and promises.
No, not at all.
The big takeaway right off the bat is that AI has essentially become electricity. It's just there, it's on, it's embedded, and you expect it to work.
And you notice immediately when it's gone. If the lights go out, your house stops. If the AI goes down in 2026, your business just stops.
That is the perfect analogy, and the report points to this critical shift in mindset.
Mm-hmm.
If you think back to, say, 2023 or 2024.
We were all in that experimentation phase.
Right. Companies were dipping their toes in, running a pilot, seeing what a chatbot could do for them.
Maybe you write a few marketing emails. But that whole era it's over. The report makes it very clear. The world has moved from experimentation to dependence. Nobody is asking if they should use AI anymore.
No, that debate is dead. Now it's just, how fast can we scale this thing before the wheels come off?
Or before we lose control. And that's really the tension we need to explore today, right? We have to unpack this whole transition from, the simple chatbots we used to know to these new autonomous agents.
And we have to look at the economy of it all, this thing they're calling AI capitalism.
Oh, absolutely. And we definitely have to talk about the epistemic crisis, which is a very fancy way of saying we don't know what's real anymore.
That part is frankly terrifying, and we will get to it. But let's start with the tech itself. Because the AI you're using today, in 2026, feels fundamentally different from what we had just a couple of years ago.
It's night and day. The report singles out one thing as the defining shift of 2026, and that is the rise of agentic AI.
Agentic AI. Okay, let's break that down, because agent feels like one of those marketing buzzwords. What's the real functional difference here?
Think of it this way. The old AI, the 2024 stuff, was conversational. You asked a question, it gave you an answer. It was a loop.
You was a driver, it was the encyclopedia.
Exactly. If you stopped asking, it stopped working. Agentic AI is different. These systems, they plan, they decide, and they execute. They don't just answer you, they act.
So instead of me asking it to, say, write an email to a client,
you're now telling it, manage this client relationship for the next quarter. It's delegation, not just simple automation. The agent figures out the steps.
That's a massive leap.
Yeah.
One is a task, the other is a job.
It is. And the report has some wild examples. These agents are doing competitive research on their own, analyzing competitor pricing and adjusting your strategy in real time.
Without a human in the loop.
With minimal supervision. They're generating entire marketing campaigns. They're negotiating logistics with other agents.
Wait, so an agent from my company can talk to an agent from a shipping company, and they'll haggle over the price and book a truck.
And you just get a notification saying it's done.
Yes. The report quotes Dr. Chen from Stanford's AI Research Institute. She calls this the most significant paradigm shift since the graphical user interface.
Wow. That is a bold statement.
It is, but she makes a good point. The big risk used to be hallucination, right? That the AI would just make stuff up.
Right, it would invent a Supreme Court case or tell you the moon was made of cheese.
Exactly. But Dr. Chen says the risk now isn't hallucination, it's autonomy at scale. If you have a system that can plan and act, the question becomes, can we actually verify what it's doing?
Before it's too late. It's the black box problem on steroids. Because if I tell an agent to maximize profit and it decides the best way is to, violate some safety regulation because the fine is cheaper, you have a huge problem. And you might not even know it happened. And it's not just about them thinking on their own. It's about how they're perceiving the world. We're not just typing text anymore.
No, text-based AI it feels like a relic from 2025. The standard now is multimodality.
Which just means it can see, hear, and read all at once. The report uses this analogy. I love it. Calls the new software a digital organism. It's not just processing data, it's sensing its environment.
There was that one example in the report from Marcus Johnson at Neural Dynamics. He described a medical system they're using.
Yes, that was incredible. He described a single AI that's literally watching a surgery happen. It's processing the video feed from the camera.
But at the same time,
It's reading the patient's entire medical history, it's monitoring their live vitals, and it's listening to the conversation in the operating room.
so it's synthesizing visual, text, and audio inputs simultaneously.
And it gives real-time recommendations. It might see a bleed the surgeon misses or hear something that contradicts the patient's allergy records and flag it instantly.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And it really shows how this changes the work itself. Which brings us to the business side of things. The report says major enterprises have stopped experimenting.
That phase is over. It's what they're calling the Great Transition. In the Fortune 500, AI is now just embedded. It's in HR, procurement, legal, supply chains.
And software development, right. Now, you can barely find a developer writing code from scratch at a big company anymore.
It's almost all AI assisted. The infrastructure is baked in. Jennifer Walsh from Global Tech Solutions put it very bluntly. She said, 3 years ago, we were debating whether to invest. Today, we're debating how to restructure our entire organization around AI.
Restructure the entire organization. That sounds like a polite way of saying jobs are changing fast.
They are, and the report's very honest about it. It's creating new roles, for sure. We're seeing titles like AI governance officer, model risk analyst.
Prompt workflow engineer was one that stood out to me.
Right, a job that didn't even exist 2 years ago. And it's not just typing into a chatbot. It's designing the entire thought process for these autonomous agents.
But there's a flip side, isn't there? The report talks about a growing divide.
A huge one. There's a massive gap opening up between the AI native talent, the people who can actually build these systems, and the companies that just rent the tools.
Which leads directly to the money. Because if everyone is renting, who's the landlord?
That is the multi-trillion-dollar question, and the report has a name for it: AI capitalism.
That sounds ominous, but also very accurate.
It is. We are seeing a new oligopoly form. The report states that the top 3 AI companies now control over 70% of the global cloud AI inference market.
70%. That is an incredible concentration of power.
It is, and it's because you need 2 things to compete: massive, expensive GPU clusters and vast amounts of proprietary data.
Healthcare records, sensor logs, financial data, stuff you can't just scrape from the web.
Exactly. So if you don't have billions for the chips and decades of data, you can't build a foundational model. The moat is just too wide.
You are listening to the AI World Podcast, your trusted source for the latest innovations, insights, and trends in artificial intelligence, blockchain, fintech, and decentralized technologies. Each episode features expert interviews, engaging discussions, and in-depth analysis of how AI transforms industries worldwide. Stay ahead of the curve with the latest articles and exclusive reports from the AI World Journal, covering everything from emerging technologies to industry breakthroughs. For more news, global events, and access to AI World Society circle gatherings, visit us at aiworld.tv. Don't forget to subscribe to stay informed, stay connected, and be part of the AI revolution with AI World Lounge. Thank you for listening.
Dr. Elena Rodriguez from MIT is quoted, and she says, "We're in a new paradigm where intelligence is the means of production."
And that leads to wealth concentration at a speed we've never seen before.
It's not about who owns the factories anymore. It's about who owns the digital brains.
Right. But while all this is happening, there's a very real cost to the rest of us. Let's shift to the crisis of trust, because the report details this one event from Q2 2026 that really shook me.
You mean the reality collapse event?
Yeah. I think most of us heard about it, but the details in the report are just staggering.
It was a huge wake-up call. Scammers targeted a big European corporation. But this wasn't some simple phishing email. They used a deepfake of the CEO's voice and a fabricated video avatar of him to join a live finance meeting.
So the employees are on a video call. They see their boss. They hear his voice. And he's telling them to authorize a wire transfer.
And it looked and sounded completely real. They couldn't tell the difference. They moved the money.
Over $50 million.
Just like that. And the scary part is, it wasn't a hack of a bank. It was a hack of human trust. This one incident kicked off a massive new industry.
AI authentication, right?
Exactly. Digital watermarking, biometric verification. but the damage goes way deeper than just money. Dr. James Park at UC Berkeley calls this the epistemic crisis.
Okay. Epistemic crisis.
Yeah.
What does that actually mean?
It's about epistemology, which is the study of how we know it's true. The problem isn't just that people are getting scammed, it's that we, as a society, can no longer distinguish truth from falsehood.
If you can't trust a video you see with your own eyes or a voice you hear with your own ears,
then the whole foundation of social trust just crumbles. It's a threat to democracy itself. Think about a fake video dropping 2 days before an election.
it's already happening. The report touches on geopolitics, too. It quotes General Michael Torres, formerly of Cyber Command.
He compares the AI arms race to the nuclear arms race.
But it's different.
Different, and maybe more unstable. With nukes, there was mutually assured destruction. There were clear boundaries. But with AI, Torres points out it's faster, it's more subtle, there's no clear red line. You can destabilize a society from the inside without firing a single shot.
That is a heavy thought. So I assume governments are stepping in to fix all this. What does the regulatory landscape even look like?
Well, if you're hoping for a simple answer, you're going to be disappointed. In a word, it's a mess, fragmented.
Of course it is.
The EU has its AI Act, which is being enforced pretty strictly, but in the US, it's a total patchwork. Congress can't agree, so you have states like California and New York making their own rules.
Which sounds like a nightmare for any company trying to operate nationwide.
It is. The report calls it regulatory arbitrage 2.0. Companies are just moving their AI operations to whatever jurisdiction has the friendliest laws, so it hasn't really solved the problem globally.
Because a rogue agent launched from a server in one country can still cause damage in another. The internet has no borders.
Exactly. And while the lawyers are all arguing, the tech itself is crossing another boundary. We've been talking about digital brains, but now we're talking about physical bodies.
This is the next frontier for late 2026 and beyond. AI and robotics finally coming together.
And we're not talking about the old assembly line robots that just weld the same spot over and over.
No, this is different. The report highlights a warehouse robot that's powered by general-purpose reasoning. It's not pre-programmed.
Right, so if you move the shelves around or give it a package it's never seen before.
It just adapts.
It figures it out. It looks at the object, understands the physics of it, and adjusts its grip. It learns on the fly without needing to be reprogrammed.
That's the key. It learns.
Takashi Yamamoto from Robotech Industries says these robots are adaptive learners. And you have to think about the implications for agriculture, for construction, for elderly care.
Elderly care is a huge one.
Yep.
You can't program a robot for every possible thing that could happen in someone's home.
You can't. You need a robot that can understand the nuance between she dropped her glasses, pick them up gently, and she dropped a book, pick it up quickly.
Which is incredible, but it also brings us right back to that central question of control, doesn't it?
It really does. It's the physical manifestation of that autonomy risk we started with.
So we've covered a staggering amount of ground here, from agents that run your business, to the crisis of truth, to robots that can learn. If you had to summarize the state of the world in 2026, based on this report, what is it?
I think it comes back to that word from the title, infrastructure. Yeah. We are in the era of deployment. We're past the wow phase and deep into the how do we live with this phase.
And a central tension seems to be, we have this incredible, abundant intelligence everywhere, but we have a real scarcity of accountability.
That's it exactly. We've built the engine, we've put our foot on the gas, but we're not entirely sure who's steering.
There was one final thought at the very end of the report that I think is the perfect place to leave this. It's something for everyone listening to chew on today.
Yes. The report says AI is becoming civilization's operating system. It's the layer under everything. And if that's true,
then the question is no longer if it will transform the world. That's a done deal. The real question is whether humanity can remain the architect of that transformation, or if we're all just going to end up living in the infrastructure it builds for us.
Are we the architects or are we the tenants?
That is the question. Something to think about. Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive. We'll see you next time.
Take care.
The future of artificial intelligence is unfolding, and it's happening at AI World Week, the flagship global event for innovation, collaboration, and transformation. This flagship global AI event is designed to connect visionary leaders, trailblazing entrepreneurs, and influential thinkers to explore the endless possibilities of AI. Experience groundbreaking technology that redefines industries and inspires progress. Join thought-provoking discussions on ethical AI, digital equity, and the transformative role of technology in our world. Build meaningful connections that catalyze innovation and drive impact. AI World Week is powered by AI World Society, a global movement dedicated to advancing AI responsibly and ensuring it serves humanity. Together, we're shaping a smarter, more inclusive, and equitable future. Continue your journey beyond the event with the AI World Journal, offering expert insights, in-depth analysis, and the latest trends shaping the AI landscape. This is your opportunity to lead, to innovate, and to transform the world with AI. AI World Week. We invite you to join us and embrace the AI revolution.